Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the couch here on Pan African Television. My name is Makiza Latifa, and I'm sitting in for your regular host, Mami Ama Pratt. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening, and you know, we always come your way with social issues that are affecting our collective humanity. And today is one of such days. We're coming your way again to discuss an issue of importance. You can tell from my facial expression that I am in my feelings, despite the fact that I have smiles on my face here and there. I have to do it for the camera. But we're going to discuss something that, is very dear to my heart because we have in the studios a person who is trying to navigate life, despite the pain he has to go through with a condition that he's living with, which is on the back of something that I'm going to explain when we kickstart the show. As I said, my name is Makiza Latifa. This is The Couch, and I'm sitting in for your regular host, Mami Ama Pratt. Let's take this with 10. When we're back, I'll introduce my guest and we'll start talking. Stay with us. Welcome back. Many thanks for choosing to stay with us. Good evening once again, and welcome to The Couch here on Pan African Television. I'm happy that upon all the things you could do with your evening, you have chosen to watch Pan African Television and to watch The Couch right here on your preferred TV station. We remain the only show with a heart, and today we're discussing something that will trigger your emotions. We hope that it will, because this is actually a passionate appeal using this platform to reach you for help in any way possible. Tonight is one of the nights where we're discussing an issue around necrosis. Our guest is a patient that's suffering as a result of things that happened some 7 years ago. I'll introduce him. He is Thomas Anaba. Hello, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And I'm happy to see that you're smiling, actually. Also with him is Abubakar Idris. He's a health worker and also a concerned brother who is here with Thomas. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for making time, honestly.
You're most
We're
welcome.
happy to have you here.
Thank you.
You barely find people as good as you are who help people out of the fact that they see that you're going through something. So we are really grateful that you're doing what you're doing, isn't it?
You're most welcome.
But just for the education bit of it, today, or sitting here with me in the couch or in the studio, is Thomas Anaba, who is suffering from necrosis. Abubakar will give us a little bit more education on what it really is, and Thomas will tell us a story of how he is navigating the challenges that comes with living with a condition like this, what actually happened, because this definitely is not something that you're born with. It's something that happened to him somewhere 7 years ago in his life. So he's going to be sharing that story with us and how it's been for him, because he actually has to undergo surgery. So we are using this platform to make a passionate appeal to you. If you have taken time off your busy schedule to watch us on the couch, then we're hoping this will be an opportunity for you to actually extend a helping hand to a fallen brother, a brother who is suffering and needs your help. So this is me really making this passionate appeal to you. Thomas, tell us your story. What really happened to you? What really happened to you?
It's not easy. I wasn't born, like you said, I wasn't born like this. It was an accident that I got as I was a kid. I was following cow to eat. So as I don't know, and as I was standing at one of them at the back of one of the cow. So as I was standing there and I saw the cow hit me and I fell down. So I didn't take it like serious. It will affect me like this. As I was growing and I start feeling that I'm getting pains. Like my brother said, he was the one who is taking care of me now for medication and everything. So since that day, I wasn't feeling good at all.
Wow. So what happened? Your right leg or which of it?
It's my right leg.
But when the incident happened, did you seek medical attention, or you thought, oh,
No.
it's just a cow that hit me, I just fell?
I just feel like it's just a cow that hit me, so I don't feel anything. I just take it like that, normal.
You didn't even tell your parents?
No, I didn't
or,
tell anybody.
you know, they used some herbs to
No.
treat you. There was no saw, there was no cuts, nothing?
No, nothing happened. Just that I just felt the cow hit me, that's all. I didn't feel any pains until my brother saw me praying. Then he said, no, this is my condition, unless we be taken to some hospital and the rest.
So how many years has this been? 7, right?
7 years.
7 years. Yes. And I mean, after the whole cow incident happened, how long did it take for you to actually start? I see that now you limp a bit.
Yes.
It's not that serious, but I mean, it is serious, but you don't limp. You know, has it always been like that, or it took a gradual process for you to start walking better, like you are now?
For now, if my medicine finishes, that is where I get worse. If I'm working, it's not easy at all. Because if I walk small, then I have to sit a little before I can continue.
Okay.
But if the medicine, I've taken the medicine, I can walk normally.
Even with a little bit of pain,
Yes.
but it subsidizes the pain a bit.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Wow.
It's
I'm
not
going
easy
to
at all.
I'm going to bring you into the conversation, but I just really want to find out how this whole thing happened and all of that. So now you live on medication, and that
Yes.
medication is not to entirely take away the pain, but it's to control or manage it. Is that the
Yes.
situation?
Yes, please.
Okay. And I mean, you have to go to the hospital after every maybe 1 week, 1 month or something. Tell me, what's the situation like?
The situation now is I have to be going to hospital 1 week.
Every week?
Yes, please.
And what would be, is it to refill the medication? Is it for them to look at your leg? What's the...
It's because to look at my leg, how it is. Maybe if there's another problem or there's something they can do about it.
But what are the doctors saying?
Now the doctor is demanding the money to be ready before the surgery, because if not that, it will be worse.
Wow.
Because if the way I'm still working on it, the leg is now short, it's going short. So it's not easy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that you have to go through that. And I really hope that those of you who are watching, you know, I'm getting emotional. I'm a very emotional person. I get, you know, really sad about things like this, especially when there's very little you can do. But I think it's a big deal in itself that we're hosting him tonight. I keep saying that we're the only show with a heart, and we're hoping that we can touch your heart tonight to get you to sort of extend a helping hand, because really he's in a lot of pain, and we're hoping that through the show, you're watching alone, you know, you'll be able to make some donations towards this cause. We'll eventually or subsequently put across a number with which you can make these donations. This is you know, this show is dedicated to discussing what this issue is, and also to solicit for funds to help this fallen brother, Thomas Anaba, who is with us here tonight. So I mean, every week constantly having to go to the hospital.
Yes.
And all that, I'm sure it's taking a toll on you financially, obviously. What's the cost involved in doing that?
That one year, unless my brother.
He would have to come in and
Yes,
talk
please.
about it. But you're managing through. Before that happened, were you in school? Or what?
Yes, I was in school.
Here in Accra. Did it happen
Yes,
here in
please,
Accra, or
yes.
you when you're...
Oh, here in Accra.
Yeah, here in Accra.
Yeah.
Okay, so this...
I was like in class 3.
in class 3?
Yes,
That must be a long time. Because, wow. That's when it happened.
Yes.
And it was 7 years later that you met him.
No,
Is
no.
that it?
I met him. Oh, we stay at the same place.
Okay.
So that's the problem.
Okay. So, let me bring you into the conversation, Abubakar. I mean, I was asking you off air, are you related to him? Is he your brother? What is it? What's the relation between you and Thomas?
Oh, sorry. It's not my brother per se. But then what happened was that I was in the mosque after my prayers. So I was sitting there, then he came to pray. So I realized that he find it very difficult to portray, like to prostrate and pray. So I realized he cannot flex the knee. So after the prayers, then I called him. Then I asked him that, oh, what's wrong with you? And he said, oh, his leg, he cannot flex the knee. Then I asked him that, oh, for how long? He said he doesn't know for how long, because growing up, he was hit by a cow. So he doesn't know how long. Then I said, okay, that's fine. I'm doing my service at T7 Military Hospital. So I think it was Monday or so. Then I told him that he should come on Wednesday. So Wednesday when he came to the hospital, I did his hospital card for him. Then I took him to the medical doctor. So after the consult and everything, and the doctor called me that it is not a medical condition. It is rather a surgical condition. So I took him to the surgical department. After the assessment and everything, he was asked to do an X-ray of the hip. So I took him to the X-ray department. We ran the X-ray, and we were told to come the following week. So after the doctor has gone through the X-ray, then he said, oh, this is the condition. It's a necrosis of the right leg at the hip joint. So there's some kind of tissue dead, so it cannot maneuver or rotate around, so that it will allow him to flex the knee. So, but then the only alternative he has is a surgical procedure that has to do a total hip replacement. So we inquire about the cost, and he told us that he can't give exact amount because it's now an artificial procedure that they are going to do. And only the hip joint, the femur head and all that, that's 85,000. That's only for the material. Wow. 85,000. So, and for the estimated bill, they gave us around 2,000. That's only for estimation. So I brought him back home. Then I told the assemblyman in the community, the imam, and also some of the prominent people in the community that this is the situation the child is facing. So we tried to raise a fund for him. So we are also doing our best. But so at the moment, but then the issue is that the condition has been with him for a long period of time. And day in, day out, it is aggravating. It's wasting. Okay, so he has to be on pain medication, especially people with chronic condition. They are always on pain medication just to alleviate the pain. But his own, when the medicine finish, he will be crying. He can't walk on the leg.
Wow.
So I witnessed it once. The way he shouted, then I was like, really? So day in, day out, when the medicine get finished, I normally call him and give him the money, so that you go and purchase the medicine. The medicine is around 200 cedis. So you can take it for like...
The medicine for the pain alone is just 200
cedis. So that you take it for like a month.
Wow.
That's what we're... So
you have to spend 200 cedis just to get the medication for the pain.
For the pain.
That's just like a quarter of the conversation.
Yes, to take for the medication. So I was like, we are not getting the fund. Personally, I've written letters and all that appealing for fund, but then it's not forthcoming. So I was like, we should look at other hospitals as well. So I took him upon myself that I'll do my best to see what I can do and help him. So I took him to St. Joseph, Kofredwa.
So he used to get the medication and, I mean, go for review and everything at the 37 hospital?
At 37 hospital.
Okay. And then you had to take him to St. Joseph?
St. Joseph, okay. Kofredwa. Maybe because of the cost and the money is not forthcoming and the situation is worsening. You get it? So when I took him to St. Joseph, they said the material is 59,000. That's for them. Only the material.
But at 37 was 85,000.
85,000. So you see that this, so I was like, maybe that one is a bit cheaper. So we should go for that one. We go for review. I think that was last month, December. We went for a review at St. Joseph. They have also increased the material. They are now saying that it is 60,000.
Wow.
So it means the money is not constant. Even in their invoice, they will state that the bill they have given you, it's within 14 days. So after the 14 days, it is not valid again. It might go up.
Wow, but I mean, this is a guy he saw at the mosque. He saw that he was in pain, and he decided to help him. How are you even doing that for yourself? The economy in itself is not being friendly to all of us.
Yeah.
But here's the case where you've taken somebody else upon yourself. You're trying to help at least once or twice. You try to give him funds to get his medication and all of that. How are you managing with all of this?
I think when I started my health professional career, I took an oath. The oath says that you take care of the sick, no matter the race, the color, or the creed of the person. And since that, I've been born to that thing.
Wow.
If I say a person, if only I can help within my capabilities, I'll do what I can. The money is beyond. If like it is something I can do, we wouldn't have been here today to appeal to people. It is difficult for people to sell their sickness out. It's not comfortable. But sometimes situation will push you to do that. Situation will push you to do that. So if like it is something medically, just to buy drug and other stuff, I could have handled it without telling anybody.
And now he requires, so what? Now he requires surgery.
He requires
right?
surgery.
He requires surgery to, what's the surgery going to do?
Okay, so
Is
it's a
it going
total
to-
hip replacement.
Total hip replacement.
Yeah, so the femur that has a long bone, this bone, okay. So the head of the femur, let me say necrosis, the tissues are dead. Normally, it's supposed to have a space in it so that it can rotate, you can flex the knee and all that. But here's the case that because of the tissues are dead, it has clouded together like this. So there's no rotation or motion that can happen. So the surgery now is saying that we have to take the head off.
Wow.
And also the acetabulum of the hip. So it's an artificial material that you are going to bring all together so that it can help him to flex the knee. He can go out with his daily activities without any pain or difficulty.
Right. So this will totally take the pain away.
Yes,
and
totally.
he'll be able to walk.
Walk, flex the hip and all that.
Please, we need your help. We need your help. We really need you people to... we know that viewers of Pan-African television are very loving people. We know there are so many caliber of people who watch us, from, ministers, our members of parliament, those who are representing us, from philanthropists, from NGOs, operators of NGOs, CEOs. I mean, all of you who can help in any way that you can, even if it's to make a donation. Any little amount will go a long way in, alleviating the plight of Thomas Anaba, who is sitting here in our studio speaking to you and appealing to you for funds to help him out of the situation in which he finds himself in. How long has it, and when did you meet him actually at the homework scenario? Do you remember how long it's been?
I met him 2023.
2023.
Yeah, that's when I met him. So, but growing up, I know him in the area. Okay. But I don't really know the parents. So after the incident and everything, I realized that it's a surgical con. I asked, where is the parent? And he told me that, the dad is late. And the mother too is old, and she's in the village. The siblings are not also around. So he's left to his fate.
So you live alone?
He lives alone. So it means he even have to work and eat. So even with these difficulties, he still has to do certain activities to get something to put in the stomach.
And how are you doing that? What do? You have to go out and, still hustle despite the condition that you have to feed and all of that.
Yes.
And how's that going for you?
It's not easy at all. Because I cannot go and beg, or I cannot come and tell you that this, please, I need something to buy food. That's what I can't. But what I can do to get something to eat, that's what I'll be doing.
Wow. And
because the medicine that I'll be taking to is take with food. So if I didn't eat, I can't take the medicine. I have to eat before I can take the medicine.
Okay, but when did you start to notice? Because this thing happened to you when you were in class 3,
Yeah.
and you didn't take it. I mean, you thought, oh, nothing has happened to me. I don't have any cut or pain or anything. When did you start to notice? What did you notice? What did you see before it got to, this state?
They have a... It's not easy.
So
I can't
sorry
explain
about
it.
it.
So he realized that the hip, the joint there, it was protruding out. Like it's coming out, it's out of the alignment.
When did you see this?
The last time that I bathed, it was someone who saw it.
And
And told me
like
that
how many years ago, or how many months,
Oh,
or?
it's almost years. I think maybe 10 years.
That's when you
10 years.
started noticing
Yes.
that something that happened to you when you were in class 3.
Yeah.
So
It's now affecting.
did you think that it was because of that cow incident, or you were wondering what it was? Did you know what it was?
Yeah, I know because it is that only incident I have gotten since I was a child. So I know that it is because of the cow incident. That's why.
Okay. So what did you do when you saw that?
I can't do anything about it. I didn't do anything. It's just that I just take it normal.
Did you go to the hospital? Did
No.
you
I didn't go anywhere. I didn't tell anybody unless my brother saw it.
saw you?
Then he consulted me. Then we started going for medication.
Okay.
Hospital.
So you were living your life even despite, but you were still going through some pain. Did you wonder what it was, or you thought?
No, that time I wasn't going for some pains because I used to play ball with it.
You used to play ball with
Yeah,
your...
so I don't feel pains. I used to train very well.
Wow.
After school, I have to go to training. So that time, or I don't feel anything. I used to play ball with it, so I don't feel pains.
Wow.
After that, I stopped going for training. Then I realized that it's affecting me.
It's affecting you. So you... I'm lost. I don't have words actually.
So from the story that I've gathered from him, I noticed that because of the parents are not there, okay, and he's living with friends growing up. So even when he noticed the issue, he has no one to consult or to ask for funds to go to the hospital. So he decided that maybe it's one of those things. Maybe it will go naturally. I think that's from his perspective, that it will go naturally. So he told me that for him, when he started saying that, and he told the sister, and the sister gave him, is it medicine or something, or she was rubbing the place, something like that. I've really forgotten.
But what was your sister doing? She was putting herbs, or she was massaging it or something?
Forgetting.
But she was also trying to help, right?
She was also trying to help. So even currently, I talk to him, I talk to the sister. The sister, she's in Tema. She's also a married woman with kids. So there are so many difficulties she's also facing. So I just took it upon myself. If there's any assistance I can do to help him, I'll do. So let me say at the moment, I'll say we are on the track because out of the money we are able to raise 50,000.
Wow.
So we are almost there.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that, because I just don't, because he's working with the condition to get his daily bread.
What's the nature of the job he does?
It's a laundry work.
Wow.
Laundry. And it's so
But as
pity.
a health worker, beyond the fact that he has to eat, ordinarily, should he be, exerting any pressure on his leg?
You are worsening the situation. I've spoken, but even though sometimes you talk, but are you going to provide a meal for him? That's another question. Because you can't ask him to stop the job, and what will he eat? You get it? So what I'm trying to do, we should be able to get the money as soon as possible so that he can undergo the surgery. Then everything will be fine. That's what we are hoping for.
Wow. And I mean, you said something about raising 50,000 CDs.
Yeah, we have.
Already. So right now we're looking at, I mean, sometimes they make a quote of 85,000, but really it's going to be beyond
Yeah, the
that
85,000, that's only the materials. So even if...
So there's even more to it.
Yeah, so it means the 85,000 you are going to pay to the supplier to bring the head of the femur, the acetabulum, and all that. Before you come and talk about the medication for the operation, we call it the pre-op medication. We have the post-op medication. So you just look at, and even rehabilitation, because it's a bone issue, you're supposed to be seeing the physio after the surgical procedure. So even the rehabilitation is also another cost. But my expectation is that no matter what's happened, if we are able to raise the money and he has undergone the surgery, the other things are more or less like secondary. At least you can also support. It's not that huge. The problem is the surgery.
Right. So we are looking at, this surgery is going to take place in this country.
Yeah, in this country. So it's either 37 military hospital based on the money we get, or the St. Joseph. So we are
and St. Joseph has the capacity to do this surgery?
Yeah, they has the capacity to do that.
I have no doubt at all about the 37 military hospital, perhaps because I don't really know St. Joseph. But I mean, looking at the cost, you are also looking at, cost and all of that. I mean, for 37, it's well above the amount of money that was quoted from the St. Joseph. But either ways, we're still hoping that through the donation, we can get, money in excess to be able to at least take care of, other things and so on. Just like you said, I mean, post-op, pre-op, physiotherapy and admission, because he's not going to just come out of the hospital, right?
Yes.
After the surgery, he still has to
stay in the hospital.
To stay in the hospital for some time. He still has to eat and all of these things. And I mean, I'm so proud of you, really, that you still go out there to go and work. You're not sitting at home, because really disability is not inability. You're not even disabled. This is something that happened, as a result of an accident when you were, for example, in class 3. How did you come about the idea of, I don't want to sit down for somebody to have to give me money, I want to go and work? What's that thing that pushed you?
Oh, I'm used to it since I was a kid. My sister didn't, since he got married, I live alone, so I'm used to it. It's not something new for me.
For some other person, the person would have just thought, oh, let me walk around the streets and see cars and stop them and beg for money. But you are actually...
I'm a shy boy, so that's for me.
I can see the shyness, actually. I mean, I think it took a lot of efforts for you to decide to sit on TV and talk about your condition, right?
That one is true.
It's true. I can see it myself. But I know that those who are watching us will, do everything possible to make sure that they help in one way or the other. And I mean, really, you are a health worker, so you probably have a lot more information about what this necrosis is. Just like you said, it's not something that you're born with. Yeah. It's really what is it? I mean, you've mentioned something, but give us a little more detail into what necrosis is. Is it just, does it just happen? I mean, I don't know. I probably don't understand.
Necrosis happens over time. Okay, so for him he had an internal injury. So because of the internal injury, I think he didn't seek medical care. So over time, necrosis means the tissues there are dead. Okay. Like death of the tissues. So
it could be at any part of your body?
It could be at any part of the body.
It just means the tissues in your bones or...
Yes.
I mean, your tissues are dead. Sorry, I don't have any education when it comes to health and all these science terms.
Okay, so the tissues are dead. So because of him, he was hit by a cow. So like there's an injury to the tissues there. And he didn't seek any medical attention or medical care. So he's there. Over time, maybe the tissues there are deprived of nutrition. Maybe the blood is not flowing there proper. Those nutrients that the tissues needs to survive are not going there because of the injury. So maybe there could be some kind of occlusions or all that. So over time, the tissues there got dead, or the tissue there are dead. So I think that's what resulted to the necrosis. So since the tissues are dead, there's no life in them, there's no any blood supply to the place. So if there's no any supply, any blood supply to any part of the body, it can lead to necrosis. I think that's the best explanation.
And he needs a total hip replacement.
Total hip replacement. So we have maybe partial hip replacement by his own, because of the necrosis, like it has worsened. If like he should have seek medical attention early, I don't think it would have led to the total hip replacement. So he's only need a total, or the head of the femur, the acetabulum, he need all artificial.
I don't think I know what you're saying, but
yes,
we'll pretend that we understand. What's going to go into that total hip replacement? That's the surgery that he's going to have,
yes, that's
right?
the surgery that
Okay, so what's going to go into? You are a health worker, so you probably can explain to us what will happen. I mean, those are the things you were mentioned there,
acetabulum and the head of the femur. Okay. So the acetabulum is just like something like this, where the head of the femur goes inside. And because of the little space in it, the head of the femur can rotate. That's why we can flex our hips.
Okay.
Other than that, if this place is a fixed like it, there's no space, we can flex our hips.
Okay.
So that's what they are going to try to do. I think they will try to take the head of the femur, some part, because it is dead, and replace it with an artificial one with the acetabulum, where the head of the femur will lie inside. So they will also replace it with an artificial mid, so that it can allow the motion, the rotation to take place.
And this will totally solve the issue. He won't have to, maybe in the near 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, have to go back into surgery for anything. I mean, this is just it. This is going to solve or fix the entire problem.
Yes, Ali. So the issue is that a second medical doctor proposed for a surgical procedure called girdle stone. But for the girdle stone, if you should go under the surgical procedure for the girdle stone, it means 25 years or 20 years later, he has to go back and do the total hip replacement. Okay. So I was on the view that no, we should rather seek for the help, maybe the money to do the total hip replacement once and for all, because we don't know what might happen in the future, rather than going for maybe a shortcut just to do, because the girdle stone procedure is not that expensive. It will be around 15,000, 10,000.
Oh, okay, so that was like a short-term solution, to the issue. But then the long term is to do a total hip replacement. Which is why it's quite expensive.
Yeah.
But it makes more sense to do that one as compared to doing, what did you mention earlier?
The girdle stone.
Girdle, which is going to have him go back into surgery in the next maybe 20 years or 25 years. Wow. I mean, how are you feeling though? I know we haven't entirely got the money for the surgery, but I know that our viewers are lovely people who will try to help us to go through this process. Are you concerned? Are you worried? Are you scared? I know surgery is a big deal. It comes with a lot of feelings. How are you?
I'm not scared, because what I'm thinking now is where we get the money for the surgery. That's my problem for now. Because scared, I'm not scared. I'm always ready.
You're always
when
ready.
The money is ready.
You want to get back on your feet and go back to playing football and going to training and everything, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're ready for this.
Yeah.
The problem now is the money. People watching us, really, the problem really is the money that we need for this surgery. And I know that you won't fail us. I mean, this is their second time coming on Pan-African TV. They managed to raise some funds with their first interaction on another show. I think Hello Zongo here on Pan-African TV. But tonight, they are here on the couch. The couch, you know what that means. The couch, originally hosted by Mami Ama Pratt. I'm just sitting in for her today. And you know how passionate she herself is about things like this. But she really wants to impact society. She wants to help where she can. And I mean, all of us have to do one thing or the other to be able to support. The fact that we've given them the platform in itself is an indication of our commitment to, causes like this. And we're urging you to send your donations. I mean, no matter the amount of money, little drops of water really makes a mighty ocean. So 0241 387832. Did I get that right?
Exactly.
Okay, so maybe you should now do the appeal a lot more. Talk to the people who are watching us. What really do you want them to do?
Okay, so I think as human beings, as we are, we should all have a passion for humanity at large. Because as long as you are living, you are not done created. As long as you are living, you are not done created. Accident might happen. Anything can happen. And if today it is Thomas Anaba, tomorrow it could be me or you or someone else. Okay, and situations changes. Life is not a constant value. So that's what I have taken, like, I have this passionate for people, to try and help people live. Maybe there are people out there who could have also wished that, oh, they have also grown to a certain level, gave birth, but due to financial constraint or certain ailment, it has not allowed them. They have to succumb to those things. So we should do our best possible to make Thomas Anaba also live to the expectation or to the life that he wants to live to.
Absolutely.
It is possible to do that.
It is possible. Indeed, it is possible. I mean, there are 30-something million of us here in this country, and we know we have audience even across, the borders of this country. So maybe one or two of them may chance on this content and would like to help Thomas. We'll really be happy if you do. For us, it's part of, should I say, our corporate social responsibility, giving them the platform alone, engaging them and sharing their story to the rest of the world. You are in the health field. Do you encounter things like this every now and then? Of course, there are people who
sometimes
have conditions they can't even pay for and all of that.
Oh, you can even encounter a condition which is worse than this. Sometimes you might encounter certain situations that when you close from work, you can't even eat. You just have to come and sleep. We have something that we call confidentiality, so we don't disclose certain things, but sometimes you see people suffering, like people are really suffering. If you think that everything is okay, I don't know, but from my perspective, it is a recommendation that from now and then, everybody should go to the hospital and visit people on your free time.
And see what people have to go through.
Yeah, so that's when you also learn. You see that life is not something that is constant. It changes over time. People are really going through a lot. People come to the facilities without money, without family, no one. They were just walking into the facility. You have to take care of their feeding. There are certain hospitals they don't provide for feeding. I've worked in Takwa hospitals. There are some of the hospitals they don't provide feeding. So sometimes the health workers there, you have to contribute. And I always praise our medical superintendent. If maybe he's watching this thing, he knows me very well, Dr. Daku.
Thank you, Dr. Daku.
Dr. Daku goes to the extremities of purchasing drugs for patients. And even with test 7, I've encountered some of the specialists. I don't want to go into this, but I've encountered most of them doing a philanthropist work. Some of the health workers, they are really doing well. Beyond the work that they do, they also assist financially within their capabilities. And that has been our goal.
I mean, there's a lot of, wrong perception about, sometimes nurses and, some of the treatments that people get. Those are people's personal experiences.
Yeah.
But, I mean, every nurse I have encountered, or I also happen to have done my service at the hospital, La General Hospital. I mean, I'm not from the health field, but administratively, I ended up working there during my service. And I also encountered, really health practitioners or, medical doctors and nurses who are very passionate like you, because I really, all the time I say that this is a field that you shouldn't go into if you're not passionate about helping people.
Exactly.
You're seeing him, uncomfortable when he was praying and all of that, prompted you to actually go to him, to talk to him and ask him what the concern was. And I really hope there'll be a lot more people like you in the health field to help. It's been a long journey from 2023, still trying to raise funds for this. You have made, some of the money, but you still need more to complete this, right?
Yes, please.
And I mean, what are you expecting? Are you hoping? Are you hopeful? Are you still very hopeful?
I'm
Or does
very
it get to a
hopeful.
point where you sometimes give up and say, Thomas, at this point, I don't know, I can't help you anymore? Has it?
But
ever
yeah,
gotten
it's
there?
gotten to the point. Most of the people I know, prominent people, I've written so many letters. I've gone to the extremities. It's got to a time that I called him, I told him that I've really done my best. So that evening he cried because he has no hope. He lost hope when I told him that I've done my best, but to no avail. I can't sit here and disclose those people's name, you get it. But I've really done what I'm supposed to do. I've written letters to some of the hospital social workers, whether they can assist, no avail. Some of the big people that we know, I've written letters to them. I've reached out to people. I've really reached out to people because I didn't want it to come on air. Personally, I don't like to be here. If not for Thomas, even he has to beg me to be here. Honestly speaking, I don't like air. And I don't like to disclose my identity either.
I know that. But I mean, what's the feedback or the response you get from some of these people that you write letters to? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you've even lost count of the number of letters you've written just to get help.
Yeah.
What's the feedback? What do they say? Do they, oh, I've heard you, come back later? Well, what's the conversation like?
Procrastinating. Go, come tomorrow, then all that. It's going to a time that sometimes I might go to the office. I'll sit there from 10 a.m. to 3, 4. Oh, the director is not in, the HR is not in. Then I have to go and come. And you know, I'm also sometimes maybe my shift. If I have morning shift, it means I can't go. Or afternoon shift, or night shift. But it's just that now that I'm in the house, so I have the time to run the errands for him.
Wow.
So 23, 2024, thereabouts, I was a bit busy. So sometimes I delegate to my friends who take him to this place, do that. But after 24, I'm currently home, so I do all that for him.
Right. And I mean, there are people who have been able to help one way or the other. Do you, I mean, some of them are people that you went to directly and then you got that assistance. Is that the case? Have you gone to people directly and then gotten assistance? I mean, for them.
All the money we had, one is from your Zongo.
Zongo,
Hello Zongo. And the other one is our mosque.
Okay.
So every Juma, I goes to the Imam, tell him that this is the situation, so he should appeal for fund. So that's where we get all the 50,000 that we have today.
Wow.
That's where we have gotten the money from. Okay. And also, I also went around within the community, all the youth. I make sure that I take certain amounts from them. I have someone who is doing that, so I delegated to the person. Okay. So they contributed 20 cedis, 30 cedis, 50 cedis. That's why we are here today. Like, we have gotten 50,000, so we are almost there. We are hoping that the help will arrive soon.
Wow. We hope the help will come. I mean, we know the help will come. So this 50,000 has been efforts from, you know, the mosque where you both pray, the neighborhood, and then the talking of it also came from Hello Zongo, you know, on Pan-African TV. Yes. And we're hoping that even bigger amounts will come from the couch, because I know it's not just the people who watch us. I keep reiterating the fact that you people are very lovely people, and you know that you're watching a show that's the only one that has a heart. So we are definitely going to be touching your hearts, the core of it, looking at the condition that he's in, the excruciating pain that he really has to go through. He's been going through this for well over 10 years, and he's appealing to you. Thomas, speak to your people, talk to them.
I think he can best speak in tree.
Speak in tree if you want. Feel comfortable. Your person will catch room will be feel free in the catch
Daniels, Miss Elpa, Minya Mumba, the patron, Mummy Mobile, and yes, I'm a brepa, Miss Midinia, me did Pamuchopa, and yes, I know is a mammy, me brepa, Bibia, me, and Koyam.
Please look into the camera.
Pamuchopa. Mr. Midinia Midi Pamucho, Mombuami, and yes, I'm meeting me bread. Bibia me, Bia, and mammy, Mr. Midinia Midi Pamucho, Mommy Mobopa, Lamasi.
Okay. You know, I mean, for the sake of those of you who don't understand the tree, he's literally pleading with you, and I mean, begging you to come to his aid because he's going through a lot of pain, and this is hampering his life. I mean, he's unable to work fully. He's trying his possible best, to do some work so that he can get something to feed on. He can get money for, his daily life, food, shelter, medication, and all that. And Idris is playing a very huge role in the life of Thomas. He's helping him. He's gone so many places. He's lost count of the letters he's even written to places and to people. Have you tried some NGOs as well? You know, those who focus on health and...
Not the health per se, but then I tried the NGO, the one who built our national mosque.
Okay.
I've written to them.
Okay. And they came through, or you are still hopeful?
I'm still hopeful that something will come out. At the moment, it's been like 3 months or so.
Okay. And he's still yet to give a response?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm still very hopeful. We are keeping our fingers crossed and hoping that the people who are in that position to help will actually do that help. Some of us, we really don't have so much to give, but the little that we have we'll share. So if it's 2 cedis, if it's 1 cedi, if it's 5 cedis, if it's 10 cedis, any amount that you have, they always say that little drops of water makes a mighty ocean, and that's actually very true. So please, in any way possible that you can, we have opened our doors to them. We'll receive you anytime when you come here. If at all we are unable to raise the funds we need. Is there a time frame for the surgery? I mean...
Yeah, the time has elapsed, so even currently when we go, if it is test 7, maybe it's within my territory, I can work things out. But if it is at Joseph, we have to go back through the procedure again. We just don't want to give up because of his condition. Day in, day out, maybe when I go to the mosque and I see him, the difficulties he goes through before he prays. Sometimes I just don't want to look at him. Most of the times when I see him in the community, I have to pass. Yeah.
But you've done an amazing job for him. I mean, it's not easy. Sometimes leaving your work, somebody who is not related to you, you are human. I mean, that's how I'll describe you. It's just human to actually want to see somebody. Some people won't help you because they think, oh, I'm not related to you, I don't really care what happens to you, but that's you. You're a health worker, you've seen someone randomly at the mosque and you see that he has difficulty with the way he's walking and all of that. You inquire and actually take it upon yourself to go out there and solicit for funds for him, to be able to help him. You've written letters. I mean, you've gone to places. It gets to a point you want to give up, but I'm really hoping that you won't give up this fight. This is me just literally encouraging you to keep up the good fights. But before I even end everything, then I'll walk at you. What do you have to tell him? I mean, say we're better than you, Abema, Anna.
And yes, can you know? I can, and yeah, easy, mammy. Or you know what time, mammy, be up and down, be me, or you know, on many cover. Yes, I will be any time, because who can through be on the background. I say my busy meeting me die, a juma me and I mean, you are conceived, no dear, who catch now. I do what you be or the beds I know I ban out. See me down as far on to us to see her.
So that energy, to be able to continue the help. And we hope it won't be such a long time and we'll get the funds that we need to do this surgery so that he can have his life back, so that he can fully, attain his full potential, if I should put it that way, because there's a lot of things that he can't do fully because you enjoy playing football a lot, but now you can't do it, right?
It's not easy.
So you miss going on the pitch.
Yes.
And you're hoping that... Did you want to become a footballer or something?
Oh, I was a footballer. I used to play ball a
lot.
But because of the situation...
I mean, did you want to do it as a career? Did you want that to be your job?
Ghana, it's not possible.
Why is it not possible? It's possible. We have Kudus and the rest. They all started from somewhere. Maybe you could have gotten into a soccer academy or something.
That one, yeah. Maybe division or...
It'll happen. I like the fact that he's very hopeful. He still has a smile on his face despite the pain that he goes through. He still actually works. He's not standing by the streets, just begging for money and all of that. He's decided that despite what he's going through, he's going to go out there and work so that he can feed himself and not have to be a burden to society. But, you know, that's just the little you can do. It can cover food, it can cover, I mean, some of the petty things he needs. But the actual surgery is where, you know, we are forced to do the begging. We're forced to beg you to actually come to our aid. Before I wrap us up, let me take your final words, irrespective of the fact that you've spoken, made an appeal. What are your final words before we wrap up this show?
I don't have much to say. What I would say is that I think, sorry, philanthropics work should be the basis of everybody's core. Maybe, let me say, day in, day out, you encounter people. Some, they cannot come to you and tell you that, so, mommy and our papa, I'm suffering from this, that. So maybe when you inquire from people, you get to know about people. People are not confident to talk about their situations. So not only Thomas, but I can sit and tell the number of people that have come through for. Personally, I have my own challenges, but at least I also do what I can to help people who I think within my capabilities I can help.
Have you considered having a foundation? Because you do a lot of this work.
I considered of joining NGO, but not foundation per se.
Okay.
That's why I'm this thing.
Okay.
So I would say that we are hoping that our viewers will come through for us. That's what we are hoping. And the little thing that you can donate, maybe you don't have the money to donate, but you know someone who can donate. You can also reach out to the person and you also get the reward. And we thank our viewers very much for listening to us.
Yes, we thank you in advance. We'll be answer. Sorry, sir.
That's okay.
Okay. I mean, what else can we say? We've done a lot of appealing for funds. We've done a lot of begging and so on and so forth. But we're hoping that you come through for us. This is a passionate call, and on behalf of Amma Pratt, who sits here gracefully between Tuesdays to Friday to, bring you engaging content, I want to actually appeal to you once again on behalf of Amma Pratt and the Couch team to actually come through for Thomas Anaba, who is going through severe pain and who continues to remain hopeful despite the pain that he has to go through. And he's hoping that you will come to his aid. If you're watching this, please share the word across. The number is 0241 387832. The number is 0241 387832. And the name attached to the number is Abubakar Idris. Okay, so please send the number to, your funds, your donations, your support, 0241 387832. 0241 387832 is a number that we've displayed on the screens throughout the time we've been having this conversation. Share the word. If you know someone, just like Idris has shared with us, if you have somebody in mind who you know can help, we are doing our part here. We'll start as well. The fact that we've brought them on the platform alone is an indication of our commitment to helping our fallen brothers, those who seldom or those who can't, cater for themselves or help themselves when they find themselves in certain challenges. I always say that our hands are not equal, we can't do the same things at the same time, and so on and so forth. Sometimes there's systemic failure as well. If healthcare was that accessible to all of us, we won't have Thomas here, having to appeal to all of you for funds and so on and so forth. So let me cut the talking. I hope we reached your hearts. I hope we reached depths of your hearts, the core of your hearts, and you are going through watching the couch tonight's episode, Help Thomas Anaba. We are hoping that we'll be able to raise enough money to take him through the surgery and everything that he requires. This has really been, a very heart-wrenching story, but in spite of all of this, there's still hope. And we're hopeful that things will turn out well for Thomas and so on and so forth. So thank you all for making time to watch us here on the couch. My name is Makiza Latifa, and I've been sitting in for your regular host, Mami Ama Pratt, who will be really happy if you extend a hand to Thomas Anaba. So good evening, many thanks for choosing to watch us, and enjoy the rest of your program. Thank you.